It's it's official. Sadè is now a part of TNA. Welcome back to another video on Epsilon Sports, and I'm back with another TNA recap per usual every Thursday. And starting next week, I'm gonna start posting Easter Friday after, so Impact comes on Thursday night. So I'm gonna start posting these recaps on Friday morning. So this will be the last time I do a Thursday upload recapping Impact. So just letting y'all know that now ahead of time. But let's talk for this video, I'm gonna stay in order for the most part, but I'll talk about the Sadè's return to TNA, because she did wrestle. Well, she had 3 or 4 appearances in TNA earlier this year with Lash Legend, part of the Meta Girls when she was in WWE. Then she was part of the cuts that they had not too long ago, which I really didn't understand. But so she was a free agent, and now she's back, and she's signed with TNA. TNA confirmed this on their Instagram page. So Sadè is now a part of TNA, and I'm excited to see what they do with her and how she's used. The first way she was used was in her debut, well, in her return, technically, teaming up with the Inspiration, taking on the Elegance brand in what was a solid match. And then the personal content here, he did a promo before that, and didn't really do anything, but the Elegance brand laid down the challenge last week to a 6-woman tag team match, and the Inspiration needed to find somebody, and they sure did find that person, which was Sadè, and she filled into that spot perfectly. Didn't take long for all 6 women to start brawling. Usual spot you see in a 6-8 person tag team match, but it didn't. Usually it takes a bit longer. They had multiple spots like that in this match. They had 2, if I'm not mistaken. Then Ash by Elegance licked Sadè's lollipop, which is very unsanitary, but it's wrestling, so. But that pissed her off, so she tried to get in the ring, but the ref had to hold her back. And then Cassie Lee was isolated for a little bit, but once she was able to get the tag in to Sadè, she got in there, delivered a well-placed drop kick to Heather by Elegance, if I'm not mistaken. Had some good moves, had a good showing in the match, and the Inspiration and Sadè would end up getting a win. This was a good 6-woman tag team match. I enjoyed it. Felt like it was a good match opener. It wasn't a show opener because it was a segment before that, which I'm gonna get to. But this was a good way. This was a good first match to get the night started. I enjoyed this match, and it was a good way for her to debut. Fit in perfectly with her being a tag team specialist, so fitting in right next to a great tag team. Now hopefully she's doing. I mean, if they have her doing stuff with the Inspiration and building up this story for a little bit, I think that'd be a good role to fit her in, because she can't be inserted into the main event scene immediately. She got to do stuff to build up to that. So I think starting off here, maybe continuing this feud with the Inspiration brand and with the Inspiration and the Elegance brand, and maybe her helping the Inspiration win the Knockouts tag team titles, and then build her catalog up and eventually challenge for the Knockouts title. I think that'll work perfectly. I don't think she should do it now, especially with JC Jane being champion, because WWE not going to let her get that win. So I think they should wait until a TNA star has the title back. Maybe Indy Hart will. Maybe she's going to take it back, and then that's how Jakara Jackson, Sadè, that's how she gets a chance at the championship, because I don't see her having a match against somebody in WWE, at least not right now, with her just getting the TNA and being with them. But now to how the show started, it started with Santino Marella, and he was talking about how TNA and how they're going to get their gold back, and how he wants to get gold of WWE's gold as well, as he had this match with Ethan Page on Tuesday. I wish it would have been more build up to this, because I don't see Santino winning, because it's such a little build up. But then Masha Slamovich came out there, and she wanted her rematch. Santino was like, "You got it next week. You get your contractually owed rematch next week versus versus JC Jane." So got that covered. Then the System came out there, and they showed respect to Masha. Obviously, she then had a tough going losing the Knockouts championship. And then the System, they spoke to Santino. They wanted to talk about how it's the greatest fashion ever. Want to restore order. Moose gave his respect to Leon Slater and said that he was going to carry the X Division. So I guess it's a way to turn the System babyface, which I like that Moose showed respect to Leon Slater at Slammiversary, putting the title on him. Then he put him over in this promo here. And so I like how they transitioned to the system being faces. And then they called themselves the greatest faction of all time. Moose, he wants the TNA title once again. Then Trick came out there with First Class. Trick cut a good promo. As much as I'm not rocking with the partnership at the moment, but Trick Williams is doing amazing work. I can't deny that. Cut a really good promo. He was like, "You just lost to Leon Slater and you want to call me out." So that is kind of crazy. But then Order 4 came out. Trick said something about Mustafa Ali. Order 4 came out there, and Mustafa Ali, he basically sent a warning to Trick Williams not to say his name again, or he'd be coming after that title himself. So then Order 4 and the Fist, when they started brawling, because they've been building up a feud for the last few weeks, and then that led to a match later which I get into, but then they were backstage. The system was with Matt Cardona, and then he was like, "Y'all had my back, so I'm gonna have y'all back too." And like I said, I'll talk about that later in the segment that it led to, or the match that it led to. And then after that, that's when Mara Sadè had made her debut, so that was the second thing that happened on the show. Covered that first since it was the most important. And then after that, Indy Hartwell had a backstage segment. She was pissed about Tessa Blanchard attacking Gia Miller after the match at Slammiversary and how that played out, which she should be. And then Dani Luna, she came back there. She was basically thanking her for checking on her like a week or two ago on Impact. Then Victoria Crawford was backstage and she was like, "I'm both of your mentors." I was confused on what she meant by that, but that was confused as well. So I was like, didn't you just attack Indy Hartwell and Gia Miller too? So that didn't really make sense to me. But yeah, that was a very weird moment, because I don't know what that's going to lead to. I don't know. And then she said she was going to set up a match, but maybe that match is going to be between Indy Hartwell and Dani Luna. I wouldn't trust Victoria Crawford. Eric Young, he said since Joe Hendry and Mike Santana couldn't get the job done, it's going to be his goal to do it. Good luck with that. I mean, it was a basic segment. It didn't do, it wasn't bad. It was just basic. Nothing wrong with that. It got to the point. Eric Young got straight to the point. It wasn't like a long yap session. So that's cool. Leon Slater, I like his UFO entrance. I enjoyed it. And then the youngest X Division champion, he gave his respect to Moose and as well. So they gave respect to each other. Then he gave his respect to AJ Styles. He brought out the Hardy Boys, who they've been a crucial part of his career at this point, especially in his time at TNA since October of last year. So they've really helped. They've had a lot of segments and had great on-screen chemistry together. So he obviously he brought them out as well, because they really helped him get to this point. Really storyline wise, maybe even in real life, I can't confirm that, but definitely through the storyline, like they've had a great partnership and been really helpful for Leon Slater. And then Steve Macklin, he came out there, showed respect to Leon, to the Hardy Boys, but he was like, "I'm tired of these outsiders coming in, winning matches, winning gold against us. We're the champions of TNA, and they are the men's champions of TNA. It was like, we have to keep this promotion. We got to hold it down. We can't let them get any more titles." So he had the picture of all four of them standing tall with their championships. I like this segment. I'm surprised nobody from NXT came out there to challenge them, but I know Leon got a title match next week, which I don't know how, because there wasn't no build up to that. But Leon gonna retain next week. I don't see him losing. It's him, Cedric Alexander, and Jason Hodge. Him having a title defense next week is stupid because there was no build, but we'll see. We'll see how it plays out. Then you had a no DQ match between Mance Warner and Jake Something. The fight started on the outside. Mance Warner was already waiting on the outside of the ring. Like I said, no DQ. You had a trash can lid and chair being introduced immediately. They didn't waste no time using the weapons. Mance Warner delivered a suplex onto the chairs. That was one of the better spots of the match. Then Jake Something introduced thumbtacks into the match, and he hit a belly-to-back suplex. So they both ended up tasting the thumbtacks, but Mance Warner got the worst of it, of course. And Jake Something would end up getting the win. This was a good match. Jake Something got the win. I thought Mance Warner would have got it, but they brought back Jake Something not too long ago. He was the one that got the win here. Both guys looked good in the match. It was the sledgehammer. The sledgehammer wasn't used. It almost was by Mance Warner, but he took too long kissing his wife. Steph to land on the outside. So when she gave him the sledgehammer, it was like you gave Jake Sumner enough time to move. But it was a good match. Jake Sumner got the win, and logically how the match was booked, it made sense for him to get the win. Now where they go from here, I don't know if it's over. I think they might have one more match, or maybe a number one contenders match to see who challenges Steve Macklin, because they're the only two really in that picture right now for the international championship. So we'll see where that goes with them two. JC Jane had an incredible segment. I cannot deny JC Jane has talent, and she had an incredible segment. She was like, I don't know why everybody is shocked that I became double champion. And then she just called out the entire women's roster. She was like, Tessa Blanchard calls herself the undeniable diamond, but she's suspended every other month. I was like, wow, that is true. She is. Tessa Blanchard always finds a way to get suspended. Then she said the Elegance brand, you can have a group called the Elegance brand who isn't so elegant. I was like, oh my goodness. Like, that was cold. And she mentioned Zara Brookside. She was like, Zara Brookside dresses like she's ready for a music festival. That was hilarious. And then Lei Ching Lee, aka, formerly known as Xia Li, she said Xia Li. She was like, Xia Li should just stick to MMA. And then I think I might get the order wrong how she said this stuff, but she said Rosemary and Victoria Crawford both need to be in an insane asylum. It's like, that segment was really powerful, and nobody came out to press her. I mean, she technically wasn't wrong about anything she said. The Elegance brand ain't elegant. Tessa Blanchard does always get suspended. The Zara Brookside thing was really funny. And Xia Li sticking to MMA was also funny. She's a good wrestler, but that's a funny line. Then Rosemary and Victoria Crawford definitely should be in an asylum based on their characters. And then the tag match that I mentioned earlier with the system, it was the Great Hands taking on Brian Myers and Matt Cardona, who used to be tag team partners in the past. So for the first time in over 2 years, they're teaming together in a traditional tag match, not in an 8-man. So Matt Cardona and Myers were in control early of the match. The Great Hands didn't get much offense in until Tasha Steelz got involved, and then she would get involved again later in the match, but Alyssa Edwards will pull her down from the ring apron, and they start fighting. Ali got taken out. Then one of the secret security for Ali, it was some big dude, like, he was super tall. He interfered. He put his hands on Matt Cardona and did like a power bomb to him, and then the Great Hands will get the win off of that. And it was like, who is this big dude? That's what we trying to figure out. It was a good tag team match, but it was like, who is this big dude? We have no idea who this is. And I guess going into the system, it's going to be like the system in Order 4. They're going to build up this faction warfare thing and see who's the top faction in TNA. But I think at the end of the day, they're going to have to work together to take down WWE. Because they're going to have to take the title from Trick Williams at some point, whether that be Mustafa Ali or Moose instead of leaders of a group. That's what they got to come down to. Then the main event, Frankie Kazarian got banned from commentating, so he tried to come back. Then they also banned him there before the match between Joe Hendry and Mike Santana will start. So Frankie got kicked out of the arena for costing TNA a chance to get their world title back. But sign of respect shown between them at the end and beginning of the match between Joe and Mike Santana. A few standoffs throughout the match, which I thought was really good because they got chemistry, tagging, being in the ring together, and they built up great chemistry in such a short time. Because prior to this year, it's no history of Joe Hendry and Mike Santana really being in any matches together. I could be wrong, but as far as I know, it's no history of them being in any matches together. So they just played really good chemistry over the last few months, building up this feud with them and Trick Williams. So obviously, Trick wasn't involved here, didn't have to be involved. But Mike Santana, he delivered a few well-placed knees to the back. Joe Hendry, I don't think he hit the standing ovation in this match. I don't even know because the way that Mike Santana got the pin, like, it was a really good match. I think he hit the spin and block, but Joe Hendry might have kicked out, or he might have got his hand on the rope. But Mike Santana, he was able to secure the win and win a good main event match. This was a good win for him. Joe Hendry continues to struggle. What's next? Another loss on his for Joe Hendry. Now what's next? Because I don't think he's getting back to the world title picture. Joe Hendry does have to get his win back against Frankie Kazarian. But good main event. Overall, I'll get a show at 8.5 out of 10. It was a really good episode. I really enjoyed it. Make sure y'all leave a like on the video, subscribe to the channel, comment, share for others, And like I said, this is the last time I'll be posting a TNA recap the Thursday night of the episode for the rest of the year and the rest of my time covering TNA. I'm gonna post it that following Friday, that Friday morning. So make sure y'all stay tuned. And make sure, hope y'all enjoyed the video.